Good evening and happy Labor Day. I'm Kathleen Jordan. Welcome to K10 News at 5. For businesses out on our area lakes, the Labor Day holiday is their last big weekend of the summer season. Parents of U.S. soldiers killed in action are demanding an apology from the Republican nominee for his feud with the mother and father of a decorated U.S. Army captain. Welcome back. We want to bring you an update to the story that we brought you at the top of the newscast, where the Dallas protests had turned violent. Ex-Army Marine who fought in the Korean War is getting the chance to reunite with some of those he fought with, all thanks to his community. Hi, Alex. We've been out here for about an hour and we still don't have many details, but here's what we do know. The Grayson County Sheriff's Office confirms one person is dead. The other person has been taken to a hospital, but we're not sure what their condition is. As you can see behind me, Team USA is ready to take on the world at the Rio Olympics. NBC's Mark Barger takes a look at some of the strongest American athletes making their Olympic debuts, as well as some of the familiar faces going for the gold. We begin tonight with breaking news out of Davis, Oklahoma, where Turner Falls Park is closed tonight. The city tells us there's a large grass fire that shut down the park. We have a picture taken from I-35 where you can see the smoke carrying for miles in the sky. We're told multiple agencies are on the scene right now working to get that fire under control. And turning to weather now, storms coming through our area. A welcome change from all this heat. Goes in for Alan tonight. Joe, how's it looking? On to today's health news. Another sign that school is starting. Many kids are hitting the field for upcoming sports season. What happens if your child takes a hard hit on the field and is diagnosed with a concussion? They'll definitely miss some playing time, and depending on how severe it is, you could face a mountain of doctor bills. Cornelius Hawker shows us how athletic trainers watch out for your kids so the hit they take doesn't hit your pocketbook. Police in Davis have words of warning tonight for people who like to hike. Officers tell us police have in the past hour taken away that vehicle that the suspect ditched, but they have yet to find him. Sherman police. People in one Bryan County neighborhood can rest easy tonight. We're told a standoff there has ended peacefully. Investigators with the Bryan County Sheriff's Office say about 30 minutes ago, a man was arrested in Durant after a standoff with authorities. It happened. And I'm Kathleen Jordan. Democrats ended their unprecedented sit-in on the House floor. If you were driving around today, you probably got where you were headed. It just took you much longer. An update on the roads now. Things are moving faster on Highway 75 to the side streets. Roads have improved because the snow isn't coming down as hard. But of course, as the temperatures continue to drop, any snow that's on the ground now could turn into ice. Interesting sight right here off of Texoma Parkway. I'm going to step aside and show you. The sign for the American Bank of Texas has fallen down. A handful of protesters have gathered in downtown Baltimore this evening after a second police officer charged in the death of Freddie Gray has walked out of court a free man. The investigation will look at three main factors to determine the cause of that crash: the balloon, its operators, and the environment.
Football teams.
And the Rangers are up against my red-hot Orioles. Well, by this time next week, many local football teams will be leaving the field with the first game of the season in the books. But fans in one local town are getting anxious because their team is ready, but their field is not. The countdown to kickoff is on. Soon the gates will be open and the lights will be on. Players, coaches, and fans are all ready for some football, but in Ardmore, two fields aren't up to speed. This 2016 season, the Ardmore Tigers and the Plainview Indians will play on new turf.
They are working hard. You know, it's exciting.
Fans worry time is running out for crews to get to the end zone, but coaches made the call on Friday, and the ruling on the fields stands.
We are going to play the first game. We're still saying it's going to be done.
Crews have been working on both fields for months, but the weather continues to cause delays.
Can't really do the gluing and the cutting and stuff while it's raining.
Things like moving the gravel and actually pouring the concrete. But days like this aren't wasted. We're told crews are finishing the prep work, and Plainview's athletic director promises they've reached the final down.
It's the labor-intensive work now of actually cutting. They have to cut out every number, every hash mark, and then sew in the white.
And as the crews work hard for the season kickoff, so do the players.
Our kids go out there every day and look, and they're super excited about it, and we are too as a staff.
Let's go! And the Tigers host the Ada Cougars in their home opener on September 2nd, and the Indians host the Grant Generals on the 9th. And you can catch the highlights of those games and all of the other games across Texoma right here on K10 every Friday night at 10:17 for K10 First and 10. The family says they haven't slept or felt safe in their own home since it happened Monday morning, and their unease is understandable because the suspects are still on the loose.
When I should have looked out the window, I did, and I opened the door. The next thing I know, I was being pushed across
the living room.
This Denison woman doesn't want to be named, but she wants people to hear her story.
It's not right, and they need to find these people. Kids, they're not even adults, they're kids.
Around 1 Monday morning, she says 2 teenagers forced their way into her home in the 600 block of North 8th Avenue.
My friend who's disabled and her mother who's disabled, and it's just wrong because these kids didn't have any right to do that. And the porch light was on, the TV was on, they knew we were up.
She says the 2 men knocked her to the ground and threatened her and her friend with knives, demanding money.
We sat all day yesterday with the screen door and the front door locked.
She says in one of the scariest moments of her life, she watched her friend stand up and throw soda in their faces for defense.
I have so much respect for my friend because I should have been the one that did that.
She didn't want her home to be identified, but she wants the men to be found.
They're not worth anything. You don't do this to people. If you want things, you go out and work for them. You don't take them from people who have spent their whole life doing nothing but being good, decent people.
We want people to certainly be aware of what's going on around them, and that's everywhere, whether it's this neighborhood or anywhere else.
The thieves only got away with 2 packs of cigarettes, but the woman says the comfort she once felt in her own home is now gone forever, and she says they'll keep going until they're caught.
I think that they've done it since then, and I think they'll continue to do it.
Alice Bailey showed little concern when she walked into a Carter County courtroom Tuesday afternoon. Prosecutors say she entered a plea deal, this just 2 months after pleading not guilty, in connection with the death of her 2-year-old son Jacob. And as this case comes to a close, the pain for her family and friends doesn't go away.
Ready for them to come home. Sad, you know, we all miss him, but we know that he's in a better place, and, you know, we all accept that. But it's hard going day to day without him.
Prosecutors say last April, 2-year-old Jacob Bailey died while choking on his own vomit after eating dog food. At the time of his death, reports show the toddler also tested positive for having oxycodone in his system. Neighbors remembered his happy spirit.
And he was always smiling. He always had a big smile. So it's just sad.
It happened on Easter Sunday of 2015, and in the days after, Jacob's death rocked the small town of Wilson.
Very shocking, yes, for a small town, yeah.
When we caught up with people in town then, they said they couldn't imagine the pain the family was going through.
It's bad for the grandmother and the parents of the child. I really feel sorry for them.
And through the pain and the sadness, neighbors said they'll stand by the family who ultimately lost a little boy.
We try to help each other out here in Wilson.